Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Hello everybody, we are live as at 3 o'clock here Pacific time in Vancouver from our shop location. It's a bit messy behind us because we're sharing the shop with the archery school, but we have AK here.
Hello.
And if you haven't seen AK last week, AK is a certified coach to do all sorts of exercises and now has made programs to have Alinker specific exercises for you here. And we're planning to do this every Wednesday, so come and join us. Be on your Alinker at home. We're going to start with a little bit of a warm-up, and I will be on this Alinker so you can see from the side what the exercise looks like. And now and then I will check in the comments who's got a question and stuff. So put your comments there and say hello. Let us know from where you are. We're here on the unceded territories of the Coast Salish people, in specific the Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh and Squamish nations. Vancouver currently. AK will start with a little warm-up. Put your questions in the questions. I will check them now and then we have a live Alinker class. We're so excited to have you all here. You're from Cancun, Mexico. Hi, Vivi. Wonderful. Let us know if you have an Alinker. If you do this on the Alinker, you can also do those exercises on the chair if you don't have an Alinker with you. So welcome to the Alinker class and enjoy. Let us know what you think in the comments and ask questions.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. So today's Alinker class is going to be a quick stretching warm-up, some warm-up moves to get our blood flowing, to get our heart rate up, to get warmed up. And then we're going to be doing some balance exercises because balance is really important when you're using your Alinker. So we're going to play around with some really fun balance moves, okay? So join us on your Alinker, on your chair, and we're going to get started. So first thing we're going to do is stretch our necks. So we're going to bring our chin to chest. You can take some deep breaths while you're doing the warm-up. And then rotate your head to the right side so that your right ear comes towards your right shoulder. You're feeling a nice stretch in the left side of your neck. And then you're rotating your head to the other side, left ear to left shoulder, and feeling that stretch on the right side. And then we're going to go back and forth between the two sides, slowly or at a pace that feels good for your body today. And then you're going to return your head to center and back into its neutral position. Next up, we're going to bring our arms up overhead. We are going to hold on to the opposite wrist with the opposite hand, and you're going to dip towards the side, okay? So the elbow that's bent and that's holding on, you want to dip to that side. Feeling a stretch in your side body, and then coming back to center, switching the hands so that you can see, and then dipping to the other side. Fantastic. And then coming back to center and bringing your arms down. So we're going to do a mobility and spinal stretch next. So you're going to place your left hand in front of you. This one's perfect if you want to check out B behind me to see the side preview. You're going to bring your right hand towards it, and then you're going to rotate all the way around as far as you can, and then come all the way back. We're going to do that one more time, and then we're going to add a little to it. So twisting through your mid-spine, feeling your chest open up. Next one, we're going to go overhead, rotating and looking behind you at your fingertips as best you can, back overhead.
Wow.
One more time. This one's fantastic for opening up your mid-spine, and then overhead. If you need a quick rest for your arms, take it there, but we're going to do the same thing now on the other side. So both hands in front of you, we're moving the left arm this time. So first one, we're just opening up, rotating behind you, looking towards your hand, and coming back. Again, same thing. Trying to keep your hips straight forward and just turning through your spine. Amazing. Now overhead, so the windmill version, and then back overhead. Fantastic. One more time overhead, and return to start point. Okay, do you want to do a break for any questions or grab some water?
Let's see if there's any questions. So many question. I've been debating on getting one for my father-in-law. He suffers from vertigo, so it's hard for him to walk on his own. Would this work for him? Balance issues can be a little bit tricky because it is a three-wheel bike, and but it can also stabilize. It depends a little bit, like if the cognition is right, but the cognition is still good, but you do have some balance issues, then it can work. If the cognition is like not communicating between the brain and the body well enough, then that might be problematic. So it's a matter of trying that out. Any questions about, hello everyone, this is so cool. Thank you for joining, and we're continuing after the warm-up, or with the rest of the warm-up rather. If you have questions about the class, let us know about the class.
Okay, next portion is the warm-up that's getting our heart rate up, getting our bodies moving in a little bit. So we're going to be combining upper body and lower body movements. You have the option to choose one or the other, or do both. So the first one we're going to do is punching forward. So start with your punches, then add in tapping your feet side to side. Right? So this is also a brain exercise where you have to move both frontally, so forward with your fists, and laterally with your legs. Okay? Now we're going to punch to the side and step to the side. Yes. Switching it up. And then last one, punch overhead and keep stepping side to side. So you're probably feeling your heart rate, your body warm up. That's exactly what we want. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we're doing high knees. So you've probably felt before in your Alinker when you're using it around town that your hip flexors are working hard. So we're going to strengthen those with this warm up. So we're going to bring your knee as high as you can, keeping the other foot planted on the ground, and then switching to the other side. So what you want to feel is every single time you're pulling your knee up from your core and from your hip flexors. Holding at the top as long as you can, or for a few seconds, is really great for also training those hip flexors when they're in tension. So let's do 4 more together. 3, 2, 1. Amazing. And now we're going to combine high knees with punches. Okay, so this is going to challenge your balance and your aerobic capacity. So we're going to start with our punches and then add in, you can do it depending on how coordinated you are, double time punches, or in line with that knee or high knee. Good. Keep going. Let's do 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. Now that our bodies are warmed up, we're going to move on to the balance movement. So these are all a little bit experimental. They're going to be great for training core, but you really want to play around with your body, how your body feels, okay? So if it looks a little different for you than for one of us, that's totally fine. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is a 3-step balance hold. So what you're going to do is you're going to do 3 steps in quick rotation and then hold at the top. 3 steps, then hold at the top. Option to keep your hands on the handlebars or bring them out front. So you're going to do that at your pace now and exploring what feels achievable, what feels good for your body. That might look the same as me or B. That might look different. You could also bring your arms overhead for an additional challenge, right? So try that. See how that feels. When you're doing the 3 steps, at the top, could you lift your leg at the bottom? Ooh, that's really hard. Can you lift it even 1 inch or 1 centimeter off the ground? Or maybe holding on to the handlebars and you could lift that leg and see how that feels. Ooh, the core starts to shake. Okay, a few more of these, exploring it, and then we're going to move on to the next balance move. All right. So the next one, we're going to have our arms out wide, so kind of like an airplane. So for this one, we're going to start with our feet planted, but you have the option to bring 1 foot off the ground to challenge your balance a little bit here. So for this one, you're going to lean to one side. You can dip all the way, like an airplane doing a big turn. Or you can lean a little bit more so that your arms are not going vertical but staying parallel. So moving from side to side, and as you're moving, you're feeling your core muscles, right? Working hard. Your obliques, those are the side core. And maybe you're holding it on one side and exploring lifting one leg off the ground. How does that feel? What if you lift the other leg off the ground? What if you dip and lift that leg? So really exploring those different types of balance movements when we're using, one foot versus the other foot, that does mimic movement in the real world, right? So exploring with that, keep pretending you're an airplane, woo! Feeling like maybe you're gonna fall over, but then you recover, right? Exploring the limits to your balance and positionality. Okay, our next one is very similar, but we're gonna be in what I call the roller coaster position, right? So you're on a roller coaster, your arms are up, you're having the best time. Okay, what you're gonna do here is you're gonna dip to the side, and same thing, starting with your feet on the ground, exploring the limits of your balance and core strength. And you might feel like, ooh, even just going, half an inch or a centimeter or two to one side feels really challenging. And maybe you're gonna explore this a little bit more in your own time, which would be awesome. Okay, and with this one, same thing. What if you lift one leg, holding that knee up? Can you dip to one side? How does that feel? Do you feel any other muscles, like your leg muscles, start to engage differently? And maybe you're leaning to the other side with that same leg lifted, and then switching up the legs. So you were just playing around with B. How are you doing back there?
You're doing very challenging things.
If your arms are starting to hurt, because mine definitely are, bring them back down. Okay, we've got one more that we're gonna do before we take a rest, and we're gonna repeat those. You're gonna have a chance to do them one more time. So with this one, we're gonna bring our feet together. You have the option later on to maybe bring onto your toes, so a little more restrictive on the balance, or even feet off the ground, okay? So with this one, we're gonna have our hands at the side, and again, we're gonna dip as low as you can. So pretend like you're trying to reach to the floor or pick something off the ground. Probably not gonna get there, but it's the intention that counts. Other side, same thing. Finding your balance while reaching and feeling your obliques work hard, coming back to center. Now can we do it on our tippy toes? A little bit more of a challenge, right? You don't have the stability of your full foot on the floor. Yes, and then for the real daredevils amongst us, or the balance experts, can you lift your feet fully off the ground, maybe holding on to the mid bar, and then see how far can you lean? Can you find balance in a position where your feet are off the ground? And let's take a break there. So grab some water. We're gonna do those again. You have the opportunity to explore them again with us. Any questions, put them in the chat. We would love to know what you're wondering about, if you're struggling with anything, or if there's something specific that we can do in future classes that you would love to see. So let us know. We're probably gonna take 20, 30 seconds to rest and have some water. B will be there to answer all the questions.
There's no questions so far, but please do put your questions in the comments, and then we'll continue the class very shortly. Any other questions about the Alinker, or about when we do those classes, if this time is good for you, anything that you want to know? We're here, we're in community with everybody who joins here. We're planning to do this. This is the first live that we're doing with AK, that we're actually doing a whole class. We're planning to do this every Wednesday around this time. Is Instagram the best way, or do you rather see it on TikTok? We will post it anyway. Sign up to the newsletter if you want. And we'll post them anyway. They're free for everybody. We're just doing this to get people moving and to feel your body, to see what's possible when you challenge your body a little bit. So we're continuing on with the class.
Just after a brief choking on water from me. All right, so I want to go back through those balance exercises. So if anything does come up while you're doing them, feel free to put it in the chat or comment after if you're watching this video later on, because we would love that feedback and know what's coming up for you. So again, we're going to start with our 3-step balance. So remember, this one is when we're marching 3 times and then holding the knee up at the top, really using our hip flexors and our core to hold that knee there. And then again, 1, 2, 3. You can hold it for 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 20 seconds, whatever feels good for your body. And if it's a little bit challenging, that's what we want, right? Because your body is going to adjust, you're going to build strength, and it's going to be easier to move around the world on your Alinker. And again, bring your arms in front is a good way to add some extra challenge, or overhead to really add the challenge. Your arms are overhead, keeping your shoulders down and your rib cage is tucked in. Okay, let's do one more 3-step and then we'll go on to our next. Fantastic. Bringing the arms down. Next up, airplanes. All right, so starting with the feet on the ground, you can dip all the way to the side, exploring your movement, holding maybe for 5 seconds, seeing how far can you dip, how far can you go before returning to the other side. Or remember, having parallel arms and moving laterally, but not so much up and down, side to side. And with this one, raising one foot, going from side to side with your left foot off the ground. How does that feel versus your right foot? Because often we will have imbalances between one side of our body and the other, right? You usually have a dominant foot, a dominant hand. You might kick a soccer ball with one leg, or hit a tennis ball with one arm, right? Okay, roller coasters are next. Bring your arms up like you're at Disney World. And let's go dipping to the side, nice and slow. And then coming to the other side. Feet are placed on the ground. We're finding our core strength through our obliques, the beautiful side core muscles that are so, so important when you're using your Alinker side to side. And again, for an extra challenge, lift one leg. How does it feel to go to the left side, to the right side with one leg lifted? Let's do the other leg now. Ooh, this one's way more challenging for me right now, and who knows why. Sometimes it doesn't have to make sense, you know? Okay, and our 4th exercise, feet together, starting on the ground, and we're gonna dip towards the floor, arms down. Going to the other side. This is the kind of move that you could also add a weight into. So holding the weight on either side, you're dropping down or dipping down and then lifting back up. And can we do it on our tippy toes, feet together, side to side? Good. And then can you do it optional, lifting the feet off the ground, squeezing the middle bar with your thighs? Is there any kind of dipping? I feel like I can go 2 centimeters and then back to center. Okay, we're gonna do our cool down now. So that is your hard work done for today. Come back anytime to this video, repeat these exercises, because by repeating them, you're gonna get stronger and you're gonna feel a huge difference when it comes to moving around the world, okay? So for our cool down, we're gonna do some overhead reaches, bringing the arms down in front of us. Taking some deep breaths, so in through your nose, out through your mouth. Good. Placing our hands on the handlebars, some gentle cat-cows. So arching your back, bringing your chin towards your chest, spreading your shoulder blades. Holding here for 3, 2, 1, and then pushing your chest forward, shoulders back, head comes up. And again, one more time for each. Rounding the back, shoulder blades spread, and then chest comes forward, head comes up. Fantastic. 3, 2, 1. And our last one that we're gonna do is reaching our arms overhead, bending to the side, planting your feet on the ground so you're not worried so much about balance as much as stretching. And then the other side. And then back to center. And that's it. B, how are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm feeling all stretched up. Stretched up and stretched out. Thank you everybody for joining. Be here every Wednesday around the same time. And Laura is here. Hey Laura. She says love this. I hope you joined our class, Laura, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Yeah, every Wednesday, 3 o'clock PST Pacific time from our shop here in Vancouver. Join us, and thank you for being here. Bye.